with Google. Rachelle Considine is someone I've worked with for the past few years with her role of being head of industry and retail and tech with the ad sales there, but then more recently, the director of thought leadership in Google Cloud. And Rachelle, you, as is obvious here in your picture, there's a lot of different dynamics and some real important people that are driving the kinds of things you have to make and the connections you make in your life. What do you take of a quick sense of what's happening and where we go in terms of connecting with people through the tech that you see within Google, but then the large organization you're a part of and in your life experience?
That's a really good question. First of all, thank you for asking me to join, Maury. Sorry for the technical challenges at the beginning.
Glad you're here.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to be here too. So I'm going to take a step back and first of all, acknowledge everything that my peers have already said on this panel. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you're doing. We need to make human connection and talk to people in an empathetic manner and realize that we're not all, there's this quote around the beginning of COVID that came out, and it's, we're all in the same storm, but different boats. And I think we need to acknowledge that, whether it's working with people, forming partnerships, dealing with families and friends, etc. And that's one of the reasons I was really excited to take this new role at Google for the last 6 months. And it's because I've seen the power of cloud and transformation really help in so many ways. And to quote Sundar, the pandemic sped up digitalization in all aspects of our lives, and it made the future of work today present. So it changed everything, and none of us were expecting this. And it really has given us all, whether you're a small business to a large business, the ability to transform our organizations. One of the projects I'm most proud of is I'm part of a sustainability group at Google. And referring back to the first speaker, it's all about building trust. And one of the things we believe is we can't just ship stuff. We have to actually provide outcomes that not only help our bottom line, but also other companies in the world. And we partnered with Unilever. I don't know if you've seen this in the press, but they came to us and said, look, Google, we need to figure out how do we help 70 of our products become much more sustainable. And with Google Earth Engine and some of our other solutions, we were able to really go back and identify the sustainability at the farms when palm oil is being created, and to ensure that it's done in a sustainable manner. And that way Unilever can say to their customers who need to trust them if they're going to buy the product, we are really going the next step, and we're farming out, no pun intended, families and farms that aren't following the way we should do it to ensure our earth is in a better place. So that's one of the smaller projects I've been part of, but very proud of. The next thing I'd say comes a lot to what Cecilia spoke about, and that's when I'm looking at my team. And we have been through 2 really hard years, and we're very privileged to work at Google. They brought us right home. We were home before they even shut down the cities. I remember I got an email after getting off a flight from Austin saying, do not go into San Francisco tomorrow, and we will let you know. And we thought it was going to be a 3-week stint, and ended up becoming, I'm in the office today, but you know, this is optional. But what I've realized is every single one of my team members needed help in different ways. They might have needed help because their family was all of a sudden across the country. They didn't know if they could get there. I had a conversation with one of my mentors who said, I was told by my manager I couldn't go to Atlanta. She was living in a small studio in Oakland. I said, this is when you need to think about you. Get on that plane and get to Atlanta with your family. And this was before they said we could all work from home. So it's really thinking through each situation, because this person was alone, moved to Oakland for a new experience in the Bay Area, but had been here less than 6 months and didn't have their tribe, their friends, the people they need to connect to. So really, this whole experience has changed my purview on how you manage day-to-day relationships, your team, etc. It's also made me a better hiring manager.
And because I've got a Windows support message.
Hold on.
And it's Windows Defender Smart Screen.
Hold on, let me just try to see who's got their microphone open. Yeah, I'm going to mute all, and then you unmute there. Rachelle, go and unmute yourself.
Yeah, so it's also changed how I hire. And I now have a whole new way of looking for talent. And I try to hire someone who's not like me, because every single person on my team has to bring a different strength. And I now look at my team makeup to see what are the strengths, whether it's their background, where they come from, thinking through culturally messaging. Are we doing the right thing? Are we, right now I have a global content team. I have to ensure that the entire globe cellulose team can pull what we build in and understand it. So what does that mean on a local level? What does it mean on a global level, in just a country level? Or even as much as like when we work with Japan, how granular we have to get. And we're starting to provide videos just for the Japanese team to ensure they feel really confident in the industry content we're producing. So I'm really trying to open my mind and think outside, and working from home has really allowed that. I no longer have to just hire in our major metro offices. And that's been something that's just really opened my eyes to having a stronger team, but also becoming a stronger leader, and people realizing like it's not about who's best friends with who, it's about who can bring something unique to the table. And that way everyone has a voice. And I'd finally say it's so important that we fill our cup at the end of the day through connections outside of work. And for the first time last week, I went to an event with other women, and it was just my friends having a brunch. And that's so, I didn't realize how much I was missing that. Like, we've been sort of cloned to our houses, and California is a little more locked down, I would say, still than other areas. And San Francisco is very conservative. So we've really stayed within our own little groups. But
very
going
conservative in a very liberal way, but
yes, very liberal place. But in terms of COVID,
very conservative.
I have my mask right here. I have it off because I'm in my own conference room. The minute I leave, the mask is back on. But we are, I went out and I realized, oh my gosh, I'm missing so much just to make me a better person, because it was all about work and kids and life and not about me. So I just encourage everyone, again, thinking about, we're all in the same storm, but different boats. Again, I didn't realize I was missing that. And encourage your teams, encourage others. And if you're in business, just make sure you're thinking about what is the impact I can bring. And you know that, Maury, we've worked together on many research studies, and all of our research has to really showcase what is the impact to the end consumer. And I truly believe if we lead that way and really worry and consider who is the end user, and if they're okay, we're okay, then business will continue and you will succeed.
Thank you for sharing that, Rachelle.